Set your own standards and forget what the world thinks. Most people are not living their own lives. They are living through reactions. Reactions to opinions, reactions to trends, reactions to expectations, reactions to the fear of being judged. And without realizing it, they spend years building a life designed to impress people who are not even happy themselves. Think about it. People sacrifice their peace to gain the approval from strangers. They abandon their dreams to avoid criticism. They silence their personality to fit into environments that they never deserved in the first place. But here's the truth. The world will always have opinions. No matter what you do, somebody will criticize you, somebody will misunderstand you. Somebody will think that you're too ambitious, too emotional, too quiet, too different, too unrealistic, or just too much. So, if judgment is unavoidable in any way, why not build a life that is true to yourself? This video is about learning how to set your own standards, stop living in validation, and develop the confidence to walk your own path, even if the world doesn't understand it. Because the moment you stop needing approval is the moment you become dangerous in the best possible way. One of the strongest forces in society is societal pressure. Not laws, not money, not power. Pressure. The pressure to fit in, the pressure to look successful, the pressure to follow the timeline everyone else follows. By a certain age, society expects you to have everything figured out: a career, a relationship, a lifestyle, a clear identity. And if your journey looks different, people start questioning you. Why are you doing that? Is that realistic? Shouldn't you be doing something more stable? What will people think? But here's what many people never realize. The crowd is often confused too. Many people are performing confidence while secretly feeling lost. Many are chasing status while emotionally exhausted. Many are following trends that they do not even believe in. Yet people still allow society to define their worth. They let public opinion become their internal compass. And that's dangerous. Because when you allow the world to define your standards, your happiness becomes dependent on external approval. And external approval is unstable. It changes with trends, with culture, with opinions, with social media. 1 minute, people praised you. The next minute, they criticize you. And the exact same thing. You cannot build peace over something that is unstable. The strongest people are not always the loudest people. They are the people who know who they are. People who have internal standards instead of internal dependence. They do not need constant applause to keep moving. They do not collapse every time someone disagrees with them. They do not shift to match every environment, because they already decided what matters to them. That is power. When you set your own standards, your life becomes intentional instead of being reactive. You stop asking, what will people think? And start asking, does this align with the person that I want to become? That shift changes everything. Your standard becomes your foundation. Not popularity, not trends, not validation. You being choosing discipline over image, growth over comfort, peace over attention, authenticity over performance. And yes, some people will not understand you anymore. But understand this clearly. Not being understood is not failure. Sometimes it is evidence that you stopped living like everyone else. Ironically, the more you try to impress everyone, the less respect you often receive. Why? Because people can feel when someone is pretending. They can sense insecurity hidden behind performance. The constant need to prove yourself usually comes from uncertainty within yourself, but people who genuinely know value move differently. They are calmer, more focused, less desperate for attention. They do not chase validation because they are already validated themselves internally. And the energy changes how the world responds to them. Look at the people who truly inspire others. Artists, visionaries, leaders, innovators. Most of them were criticized before they were even respected. Why? Because authenticity often looks strange before it looks admirable. The world usually resists people who think independently until those same people succeed. Then suddenly everyone acts like they believe in them from the beginning. Do not wait for public approval to become yourself. By the time the world validates you, you may have already wasted years hiding your true identity. Comparison destroys clarity. Social media has made this problem even worse. Every day people compare their real lives to curated highlights. Someone else's success makes them feel behind. Someone else's beauty makes them feel inadequate. Someone else's lifestyle makes them question their own path. But comparison is dangerous because it disconnects you from your own journey. You start chasing goals you never actually wanted. You pursue careers for status instead of fulfillment, relationship for appearance instead of compatibility, success for attention instead of purpose. And eventually you wake up living someone else's definition of happiness. That is one of the greatest tragedies in life. Listen carefully. You do not need to win somebody else's race. You need to build a life that feels meaningful to you. Maybe your definition of success is freedom. Maybe it's creativity, peace, it's a family, it's impact. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is not being different. The problem is abandoning yourself to fit expectations that were never designed for your soul. This is one of the most freeing truths you can ever accept. People will judge you anyway. If you dream big, they will call you unrealistic. If you play small, they will call you unmotivated. If you speak up, they will say you changed. If you stay quiet, they will misunderstand you. So, why build your life around opinions that constantly change? Trying to please everyone is emotional slavery. No matter how good you are, somebody will dislike you. No matter how kind you are, somebody will criticize you. No matter how successful you become, somebody will resent you. That is life. And maturity is realizing you don't need universal approval to live meaningfully. You only need alignment with values. The people who change the world are really the people obsessed with fitting in. They are the people willing to stand alone long enough to become who they are meant to be. Setting your own standards is not arrogance. It's a responsibility. It means deciding what kind of person you will become, what behavior you will tolerate, what environments you will accept, what values will guide your decisions. Your standards shape your future. Low standards create chaos. Strong standards create direction. If you tolerate disrespect, eventually disrespect becomes normal. If you tolerate laziness, mediocrity becomes your lifestyle. If you tolerate constant negativity, your mindset weakens over time. But when your standards rise, your life changes. You become more disciplined, more intentional, more selective with your energy and relationships. And most importantly, you stop betraying yourself for acceptance, because Self-respect grows every time you honor your own values instead of abandoning them to satisfy the crowd. Are you building your life for applause or for fulfillment? Because those are not always the same thing. The world is loud, opinions are endless, expectations never stop. But if you spend your life trying to satisfy everybody else, you may never truly know yourself. Set your own standards, define success for yourself, protect your peace, trust your vision, stop shrinking to make other people comfortable. You were not created to become a copy of everyone around you. You were created with individuality, purpose, perspective, and potential that nobody else can fully replicate. And the moment you stop asking the world for permission to be yourself, you become free. Free to think differently, free to grow differently, free to live authentically. And the freedom is far more valuable than temporal approval from people who are never going to live your life anyway. So, walk your own path confidently, not arrogantly, not selfishly, not unapologetically, because your life becomes powerful the moment your standards come from within instead of from the crowd.